Yeah, maybe you can turn on your video, Miss.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning. My name is Catherine Chisomo Banda from DMI, St. John the Baptist University, Malawi. From Social Work Department. My topic in today's presentation is about workforce diversity, a key to productivity. As an introduction, the world is changing in terms of business. You can change this, right? Hello?
Oh, next
Okay,
slide, right? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the world is changing in terms of business. Therefore, HR managers must understand the effects of the current trends in their field, which have the financial implications to organization. So some of the current trends in human resource management include workforce diversity, globalization, business process engineering, and corporate downsizing. So this presentation will do much on workforce diversity as one of the trends in human resource management. So people differ in various ways in terms of personalities, backgrounds, beliefs, and values. In a work environment, such differences may include age, may include gender, religion, education background, language, family status, work style, work experience, life experience, just to mention a few. So you may find that in a workplace, you may find people, both men and women. You may find people of different age groups. You may find people of different education backgrounds. You may find others possessing just a certificate, others diplomas, others first degrees, postgraduate degrees, even up to PhD. So you have, in a workplace, you may have people from different backgrounds. So nowadays, managers are trying hard to create a more diverse environment by employing people from different social-cultural background to become more competitive at global level. So in order for an organization to achieve its goals, it requires ideas from people, a workforce of from different background, of different ideas, so that it can achieve its goals. So nowadays, managers are trying hard to create a more diverse environment, an environment. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. So I was saying nowadays managers are trying hard to create a more diverse environment by employing people from different social cultural background to become more competitive at global level. So most organizations are employing people from different countries, people with different work experience, people with different life experiences, so that they can give their ideas, their views on how best organizational objectives and goals can be achieved. Ashton 2010 identified the two dimensions of diversity, that's the primary dimensions and the secondary dimensions. So he referred the primary dimensions as the co-attributes. These co-attributes or the primary dimensions are things that are visible, something that we can see that someone possesses, and it is not possible to change. So such dimensions or such attributes include gender,
Oh, good morning, Miss.
that we can see, and it is not possible to change them. While the secondary dimensions of diversity includes academic background, or academic background, it's something that someone can change. So tomorrow you can upgrade yourself and have a diploma up to a PhD. Skills, you can acquire new skills. Work experience, as time goes, you can acquire new work experience, life experience, upbringing and religion. So these are some of the secondary dimensions of diversity. So these are elements that we can change or modify over time. You can change the page to another slide. I think I'm on slide number 4. Yeah, you can go to the next slide. Okay, now let's look at the meaning of diversity. So according to Clates, he defines diversity as a significant difference that distinguish one individual from another individual. So all those differences, all the differences that people have, it's what is called diversity. So he also further says that it covers a wide variety of factors that may be obvious to other individuals or hidden under the surface, something that we can see and something that we cannot see. So all those differences that people have, it's what he called diversity. Jackson also said that diversity may be defined as the presence of differences among members of a social group or unit. So if a social group or unit have differences that exist among themselves, it means that group is diverse. So they have a diversity in terms of maybe gender, they may have a diversity in terms of age and the like. So when it comes to workforce diversity, you can go to the next slide. When it comes to the workforce diversity, it has been defined as a workforce consisting of a broad mix of workers from different racial as well as ethnic background, of different ages, gender, and of different domestic and national culture. So if we talk of workforce diversity, we mean in a workplace having people of different dimensions or elements. So we can talk of work experience, we can talk of different skills, different talents that exist in an organization. Salexa also described workforce diversity as the similarities and differences. So for him, he does not only at differences, but he's also looking at similarities. So people may have some traits that are similar. Maybe when it comes to work experience, someone might have 4 years working experience. Another person may also have 4 years working experience. We may have 2, 3 females in the organization. We may have 2, 3 male employees in the organization. So when we talk of workforce diversity, it's not only about differences, according to Salexa. He also talks about the similarities that exist within the organization or among the people in the organization. So that's what he calls it, workforce diversity. So you can have elements like age, gender, religion. People might have of different, might be of different age, might be of different gender, religion. So these similarities and the differences is what makes a workforce being diverse. So what are the advantages of having a diverse workforce? If an organization has a diverse workforce, people might be sharing ideas. People might learn to work as a team. We can go to the next slide. So when employees from different backgrounds work together, they share ideas and know. So when such employees have acquired more knowledge, they develop skills to perform various works within
Hello, Novita.
Yes,
Do you have a technical problem?
the speaker today, Miss Catherine, have a technical program. She leave from Zoom.
Okay, let's just wait for her to reconnect if she is disconnected.
Yes, it's okay, sure.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
All right. Sorry for that. I had an internet problem. So I was saying the advantage of having a diverse workforce is that people share ideas and they work as a team. So when employees from different backgrounds work together, they share knowledge, they share ideas. So they also get to know each other and they learn how to treat each other because they know that there are differences. They learn to accommodate each other. Therefore, in a workplace, when they work as a team, it contributes to the productivity of the organization. Apart from that, having a diverse workforce may promote learning and growth. So learning exposes employees to new knowledge and skills about other people's culture, personalities, ideas. Imagine having someone from different country. You may learn the beliefs, their beliefs. You may learn their values or how they perceive things. So from such interaction, you can learn new things, and you can also apply those in your the way you do things, because most of the times we differ in the way we perceive things. Let's say someone is from another country, they may have a different view of how people perform in a workplace. So having a diverse workforce promotes learning and growth because people learn new things from others, and after learning such things, they can apply them in their daily life, and therefore contributing more to the achievement of the organization goals. Another advantage of having a workforce, a diverse workforce, is effective communication. So a workforce that understands each other's language has an effective communication skills, because I know that this person cannot understand such a language if I speak. So I may stick myself to speaking the language or communicating in a language that someone may understand. So it is the role of HR managers to make sure that the language that is prescribed in their policy is used as a means of communicating to each other. So if people in that organization can understand English, it means in the policies they will put English as a means of communication, because they understand each other, that this person cannot maybe understand such a language. So they will come up with a language that can be universal, every person can understand in that organization. So it leads to effective communication. Apart from that, a diverse workforce promotes diverse experience. So each employee is unique and have a unique perceptions and work experience. So when employees share their perceptions over an issue, they create a pool of ideas, rendering their team to gain a diverse experience. Imagine you are discussing about something. So you have different background, you have different perceptions towards that issue. It means you may have different ideas. So you contribute to a pool of ideas because everyone is giving out his or her own idea. So you may have different, a diverse experience because of the different ideas that people are giving in that organization. The other advantage is the high level of productivity. So, if people are communicating effectively, if people have a diverse experience, people learn from other people, or if people share ideas, it contributes to the productivity of the organization. So when management provides welfare benefit to its workforce, regardless of their differences, if all the needs of the people in the organizations are met, even though they are different, it enables workers to be responsible for their work and come up with innovative ideas and productive ideas. So if the workforce is accommodative enough for every person, it means people will contribute, people will have a weak feeling, they will take the organization as their own. Therefore, they will work so hard and contribute more to the improvement of the organization. So these are some of the advantages of having a diverse workforce. So even though we have advantages, even though having a diverse workforce is good, it has its own disadvantages. You can go to the next slide. So one of the disadvantages of having a diverse workforce is the mandatory training. So when an organization decides to have a diverse workforce, it is expected to set aside some amount for training their workforce on how to deal with their customers and clients and how employees can interact with each other in order to respect their differences and similarities. So the organization need to invest in the training so that people can get to know each other, people can get to understand each other's differences. So it poses a challenge to the organization to set aside some money for training. Apart from that, hiring manager authority. So as most organizations are adopting the concept of workforce diversity, they need to recruit people from different backgrounds. So in order to do this, the company needs to have an HR recruiter or HR recruiters who are more knowledgeable in issues relating to diversity. So they need to have an HR officer who has knowledge of handling a diverse workforce. Therefore, they need to hire someone who is an expert in that field. So for some organizations, that also may pose some challenges. So apart from that, having a diverse workforce may lead to workplace, may also influence workplace relationships. So when employees realizes that the goal of the company, it is expected to set aside, if the employees realizes that the goal of the company is to increase the diversity, their impression towards the company changes because of the feeling that they do not represent the diverse population that the company is looking for. So you may find that people may have a feeling that we are not good enough. That's why they are employing other people from maybe different countries, other people from maybe different ethnic group, maybe other people of different age group. Maybe they need those with the work experience. So they may have a feeling that they are not good enough to be in the organization. So that also poses some challenges in the organization. Another disadvantage is the milad accommodations. So employees from different backgrounds have different needs and may pose different demands to the management. This makes diversity management a challenging issue because management itself cannot address the demands of each diverse group accordingly. So you may find that a certain group of people, they are not considered. Let's say maybe their needs are not considered. So that also poses some challenges in the organization when they have a diverse workforce. A certain group of people in the organization cannot be maybe considered, or their needs cannot be considered because maybe the organization is more diverse. So that one also poses a disadvantage to the organization. But all in all, if the organization has put in place some measures, it can manage its diverse workforce. So the next slide talks about approaches of managing a diverse workforce. For a diverse workforce to be for it to contribute to the productivity of the organization, the managers, they can set aside some, or they can adopt some approaches. So here with me, I have two approaches. The first approach is individual approach to managing a diverse workforce. So at the individual level, what are the managers needs to be doing in order to benefit from a diverse workforce? So under individual approach, the first approach is learning. Learning as an approach to manage a diverse workforce helps managers to learn how to appropriately communicate one-on-one with their employees, regardless of their age, gender, ethnicity, sexual preferences, or religion. So the managers need to learn on how they can communicate with a diverse workforce, one-on-one, on how to communicate with a diverse workforce. If they are able to understand the kind of employees they have in the organization, it means they can benefit from that diverse workforce, or they can be able to manage that diverse workforce. Apart from that, another approach is empathy. Empathy is the ability to put oneself in another's place and see things from that person's point of view. So if a manager is able to understand how someone is feeling based on his or her personality traits, we can say, based on his or her work experiences, they can be they can easily manage the person. So members of a diverse group believe that their problems can be shared among themselves and be solved within their group. So when someone has we can say a feeling towards you, it means they care for you. So if managers care for their diverse workforce, they can be able to benefit, or they can be able to manage such a diverse workforce. On the organization approach in managing a diverse workforce, we also have we have three approaches in the next slide. That is the first one is testing. So this testing talks about the tools that we use when we are employing people in the organization. So the job-specific test should have a general aptitude or knowledge test, not really considering employing people based on the traits that they have. That is to say, when you want to make your organization to be more diverse, do not consider where someone is coming from. Just employ them based on their qualifications, based on their skills and the like. Do not really consider that maybe the country where they are coming from. Maybe when discovering how diverse your organization is, it should just appear on the characteristics of people, not really to be a standard of employing people. So the test or the tool that you use in order to test the people who are qualified to be in the organization, a diverse workforce should not be put as a standard. No, but you should consider looking at the qualification or the skill that one has that can contribute to achieve goal of the organization. Apart from that, training as a way of managing a diverse workforce covers two aspects. That's training the diverse workforce itself as well as the training managers. So a diverse workforce needs to be trained so that they can be aware or they can be knowledgeable of the differences and the similarities that they have in the organization. So if people are aware of the differences and similarities, they can accommodate each other. The same thing for the manager, they need to be trained in order to be aware of how diverse their organization is and how they can manage such a diverse workforce. So training for both employees and managers can help to benefit more from this diverse workforce. The other one is mentoring. A mentor is a trusted counselor, coach, or advisor who provides advice and assistance. Mentor programs are designed to help people from a diverse group to perform their work properly, introduce them to the cultural values of the organization, and increase the opportunity to develop and advance in their field of work. So the organization can adopt a concept of mentoring. That is to say, for those who are not aware of how they can work in a certain environment, they should be trained, or they should be taught separately so that they can be aware of how they can behave themselves in a group, or how they can behave themselves in a work environment where there are people of different kinds. So if an organization adopts all these approaches, it means they can benefit more from a diverse workforce. Having a diverse workforce cannot pose so many challenges. Rather, they can benefit from such, because people will be sharing ideas, people will get will learn more things from others on how maybe they perform the work, or on how they perceive things and the like. In conclusion, it is evident that the workforce diversity is a concept that needs to be taken into consideration when it comes to strategic human resource management. So human resource managers must consider workforce diversity as an opportunity as well as a challenge. So they must welcome the idea of employing a diversified workforce in order to improve productivity and organizational culture. At the same time, they must come up with strategies to manage such a diverse workforce. So for them to benefit more from a diverse workforce, they must put in place some measures or approaches in order to manage such a diverse workforce. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you are free to ask.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. And for all participants, if you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat or you can raise your hand. Okay, for first question, we have question from Mr. Abdul. I'm interested in the topic of workforce diversity, a key to productivity. How can workforce diversity directly contribute to increased productive in an organization? Thank you. This question from Mr. Abdul.
Okay, so to answer the first question, workforce diversity can directly contribute to increased productivity in an organization in such a way that
Aduh, gatel.
if people, hello?
Yes.
Okay, so if people are able to share ideas on, let's say they have a task to perform, if people give ideas on how that task can be done, it means it will be done perfectly or effectively. So having people of different work experience, let's say maybe previously they have done such a task, or people of different qualification, maybe others are more advanced in their qualification, they can share ideas on how best they can do that task. Therefore, the task will be done effectively. So that's how a diverse workforce can increase productivity directly in the organization.
Okay, thank you. And then the second question, in the context of workforce diversity, what are the key elements that need to be considered to ensure that diversity truly support productivity? This question from Ms. Inan.
Okay. So according to my presentation, we can pick up some of the elements that I presented that makes an organization diverse. We can talk of qualifications. If we employ people of different qualifications, not only those, let's say, who have PhDs or only those who have masters. If we have people of different qualifications, they say maybe others with the certificates, diplomas, that element can contribute more to the productivity of the organization. So one, we can consider having a diverse of different qualification. Two, we can consider having a workforce of different background, or we can say different race. Let's say someone employing, making the organization something like international, like having people of maybe from other countries. That also can be an element that can make your organization diverse, and you can benefit from that in terms of having people from different countries or of different race. The other one that we can consider is work experience. When you are employing people in the organization, try also to consider those from different different work experience. Maybe they have worked in other organizations for several years, and also consider those who have no experience, so that they can learn from these people. You know that when people have more experience, they are growing up. They will retire at one point in time. So if you combine the young ones and the old ones, the young ones, they will benefit. They will learn from the old ones, and when they retire, these young ones are the ones that they are going to continue performing in the organization. So it's good to consider the element of work experience by employing those with even no experience and those with more experience. So I can pick out these three as the key elements.
Okay, thank you. And then the last question, how can company create an inclusive work culture to maximize the benefit of a diverse workforce? Thank you. The question from Miss Paulina.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Paulina. Companies can ensure that they put in place policies to govern or to manage workforce diversity. So, in my conclusion, I said that when they want to consider, they want to employ a diverse workforce, first of all, they need to put in place some measures on how they can manage that. So when they're employing people from different background, people of different age group, the work environment itself must be accommodative of these diverse workforce. So the companies can create an inclusive work culture by having policies or having in place some measures to manage the workforce diversity. They should not just employ a diverse workforce, yet they do not know how to manage such a diverse workforce. So the first thing to do is to come up with the elements that they are going to consider when they are employing people in the organization, and also how they are going to manage such people possessing such elements of diversity.
Okay, thank you for answering. I think it's very clear answer from Professora. Okay, before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one. 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your keen cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Miss Catherine for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future. The visiting lecture for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day. Thank you so much for Miss Catherine. Yeah.
You're welcome. Thanks so much for this
Bye.
opportunity.